Sorry, everyone. I was dealing with fluffiness. I was money, money, money. Kind of. Radio Dead Air, KRDA. Fucking phone. Get in the fucking charger. Get on the fucking charger, phone. There we go. I have fluffiness that I'm dealing with in the background. Before that, Zifrek, True Facts, Anti-Mutualism. This is what I'm dealing with. Grady? Hi. Yes. Hello, Grady. We have to keep Grady in. Sarah's trying to sleep. We have to keep Grady in here because Grady has a wonderful habit of walking up to Sarah while she's asleep, jumping in her face and screaming at her. Which, it's adorable every once in a while, but when you're trying to sleep... So he has to stay here in the studio with me. We had My Terrible Friend, Holy Roller, Novocaine, Florence the Machine, Sky Full of Song, Musical Chair, The Replacements, Radio Dead Air, KRDA, Monday Night, Taking requests, something you want to hear, send it to requests@radiodeadair.com. We have live What the Fuck Is Wrong With You coming up in about 40-ish minutes. Ish-esque. Soon. So, we're going to have to talk about this. It's not Deadpool time yet. I'll talk about Deadpool later. Let's talk about Warhammer. I don't know how much of you actually know much about the game Warhammer, other than it's little tiny models that people meticulously paint. Yeah, and then they go to a game store on the weekend, and they spend time with laser pointers and rulers and protractors and rolling dice, and yeah, it's a little miniature game where you play war strategy with one another. Grady, can you shush? I'm not letting you out. You're just going to go scream at Sarah. Come here. You're not getting out. Shush. So, Warhammer 40K. From outside, it looks like, you build little model guys and they fight and someone wins and you roll dice But there is actually a lot of in-game story and fiction and world built around these different armies. For example, there are space elves. They're called Eldar. And there's a group of the space elves called Dark Eldar. Because, of course, there's some dark and edgy shit going on here. And the Dark Eldar are in danger of losing their souls to an evil space god. So in order to protect their souls, they enslave, rape, torture, kill, and reap the souls of other sentient species. They're also incredibly decadent BDSM kind of messed up creatures. That's an army you can play. There's also Chaos, which are another evil space god, actually several space gods, that corrupt everything. And not just, like Wall Street Gordon Gekko corruption. I'm talking about they'll turn your flesh into silly putty, or they'll demand constant violence and self-mutilation, and they're very evil, nasty monsters from space. That's an army you can play. Another army you can play are mechanical undead, who, while they're robotic endoskeletons, they actually contain the deadened consciousness of an alien species. And on occasion, when you fight them, they'll rip your skin off and wear it as a hoodie. That's another army you can play. But you're saying, well, there's got to be some good guys. Kinda. There are the Space Marines. They're human, sort of. They're genetically mutated, and they're hostile, xenophobic, kind of dogmatic to a half-dead human genetically modified emperor, and they wipe whole planets, and they kill all kinds of everybody. And if you're not pure, or if you've given in to psychic powers, because that's another thing, psychic powers can make you explode or make other people explode just randomly, and it allows you to be possessed by those nasty chaos gods. So if you're a heretic, if you doubt the divinity of the god emperor, they'll destroy everything you've ever known for an entire light year. That's the humans. And then there's an extragalactic alien species that will start by modifying members of your species into gene stealers, who will then impregnate other people of your species or inseminate other people of your species, and they'll make these nasty half-human, half-extragalactic alien hybrids that are all kinds of ding 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 ding. And then, when there are enough of them, they will send out a psychic signal to the extragalactic aliens, who will show up and liquefy every organic substance on the planet into a goo that it will then consume and fly on into space. That's another army you can play. My point here is the entire Warhammer franchise is messed up as fuck, yo. It's just, everyone is... Careful you don't cut yourself, because there's a lot of edge. Oh, everything's got edge. Everything, the books have edge on them. There's just edge everywhere. You'll get a nasty cut. There's edge. Just be careful. Be warned. Oh, there's edges. It's edge. Oh, the edge. Now, why am I mentioning all of this? You may ask. Why am I bringing this up? No. Good point, but no. This was announced. Warhammer Adventures. Warhammer Adventures stories are perfect for bookworms aged 8 to 12. Going to say that again. Aged 8 to 12. Saturday Morning Warhammer. Now, I have no problem with certain things, like the whole Thundercats thing. I have no problem with that goofier, sillier reboot. I'm not going to watch it, but if somebody does and enjoys it, cool. I can still watch the old Thundercats if I really want. They even had a movie. Did you know that? However, this, and having read a bunch of Warhammer world fiction and all the stuff, the flavor text and all of the things behind it, and some of there are a couple not really good movies and other things, and the video games. Don't forget the Dawn of War video games. Hell no! Why are you marketing this towards kids? Are you insane? Are you? Did you really? You're trying to put a kid-friendly face. Did I mention the raping, torturing gods? There is a god of rape in Warhammer 40K. Did I mention him? Did I? Cause yeah. Um for kids, this is pissing on a hornet's nest. Grady, what? Can you be silent? I'm making a point here. This is pissing on a hornet's nest, essentially. Because the minute you get certain parents involved in this and they say, "Oh, is this like Star Wars? Is this like Serenity or something like this, like Firefly? I'll get this for you." And some parents actually do research about the stuff their kids are reading and watching, and yeah, they're actually concerned. I know it's weird, but they do. The minute some of those parents start digging into Warhammer and meet the god of rape, among many other atrocities featured in the book, readily featured throughout the entire fiction, everywhere. The shit is everywhere. On Earth, to keep the husk of the God Emperor alive, they kill 1,000 innocent people a day. For kids! Parents are not gonna be happy about this. This was a bad call. It's a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call. Bad call. Because as much as you try to pivot publicly, you have 20 years of established fiction sitting around. Yeah. 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 And also, I'd like to point out, I'm part of a generation that they tried to take R-rated R-rated properties and translate them to the 8 to 12 market. They did this with Rambo and with RoboCop and with Swamp Thing and with Aliens. You don't even know what that is. You're too young to remember Saturday morning cartoons. And they took these very violent films. RoboCop particularly stands out among those as ones that was a little bit too much for kids. I was a kid. I shouldn't have seen RoboCop. It messed with me. Especially if you've seen RoboCop, spoilers, there's a scene where a dude gets killed by driving into a toxic waste container, which fills up his van, and then the back doors burst open, and the dude comes pouring out of it, melting apart graphically. And you see that on screen, and I saw that as a kid, and that stayed with me my entire life, and it kind of messed with me forever. I'm going to point out, every time this has been attempted to take something like that and scale it to children, Grady, it's failed. Every time. Every time it is turned into a gigantic waste of everyone's time and money. Now, there are some cool toys that came out of that. I have an old RoboCop action figure that had a cap firing mechanism built into his back, like a cap gun. It just goes snap, 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 snap. I have that. That was awesome. And there are a lot of really cool Aliens toys that came out of it. They're neat. Just probably, why are you trying to take this and point it at kids. It's not a good plan. It never works. If you want to do it, I have no. If this is you want to grimdark the grimdark, if you want a not so gritty reboot, go right ahead. But this is not like rebooting Thundercats. Thundercats was always fairly, it was always kid focused. This is taking something wildly inappropriate for the age group and trying to bring in new people with this backdoor way of doing things, and it's not a number. It never works. It never has worked. You're pissing on a hornet's nest. It's a bad call, Ripley. So yeah, it's not 8-year-olds, dude. 8-year-olds. Now, if you wanted to point this a little bit higher up the scale, like maybe, young adult, maybe the 14 to 16 age group, you maybe could make a case for that. But 8-year-olds, dude. 8-year-olds. Grady's just being a little shit tonight. Are you being a little shit? Why are you being a little shit? Stories from the far future. Yeah, I would want to point out the tagline for Warhammer 40K is, in the future there is only war. So, stories from the far future of horror. For kids. And again, let me say, 8-year-olds, dude. 8-year-olds. 8-year-olds, dude. 8-year-olds. Okay. Let's move on. If you have requests, go ahead and send those to requests at radiodeadair.com. We have live What the Fuck is Wrong with You on the way. Let's see what we're going to do. Really? Okay. I can do this. Why not? Grady. But Grady, though. Okay, come here. Little boy. Little kitty boy. Come here, little kitty boy. Come here. Listen, we have a show to run, little kitty boy. We have a show to run tonight. Little kitty boy. You must stop yelling at me. Stop yelling at me. Okay? Please stop yelling at me. Thank you. Now he's purring. Okay. Little boy. Little furry man boy. If I let you down, you're just going to scream at me again. Can you stop screaming, please? There he goes. Really? 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 Can you not? Can you not? By request. This is Martin Briley. Let's see. Come on now. Work. This is Martin Briley, Salt in My Tears, by request, Radio Dead Air. Weird